Hi, welcome back. Welcome to my channel Techie Krish or GG Agra. So, in my second video of list in Python, today I am going to discuss what is the need of using lists in Python and how many methods are there and what they can do, some example, and why the program returns none and when program returns none. So we'll be discussing this in my this video. So let's move to our presentation. So what is the need of the list? So I'll show you how this will clear why we need list in Python or anywhere when we do the programming. This kind of structure, why do we need it? So here, if I'll show you this through this program. So I'm going to write the program which will get 10 integers and will calculate the sum and average. So simple program, and this can be done without list also. So see here, this is the program. Simple program, find sum and average of 10 numbers to be input from the user. So what I have done, I have taken a variable, that is the accumulator sum, which is initialized to 0. Then I applied a for loop to get 10 integers with the help of the range function. So in the range function, I mentioned 10 means it will be executed 10 times, and every time it will get a number, or maybe in the form of the float type number it will take. And the sum variable is a variable which will store or accumulate the number which we enter while running this program. So what is doing in I in range 10, so it is doing, it is getting a number in type of float. So every number which is coming from the user, it is being added to the variable sum. So sum is equal to sum plus num, or sum plus equals to num. Both are the same. So the new value of num will be added to the old value of sum, and this will update the value of sum. So this, the loop will be executed 10 times and it will get a new number from the user and will be added to the variable sum. And finally, after execution of this loop 10 times, so sum will get the sum of all these 10 float numbers. And after coming out of this loop, average is a variable, avg is equal to sum upon 10. So this is giving the average. And over here, print sum is equal to sum. So sum is printed and average is also printed. So there is nothing new to be discussed here. It is simply taking the float numbers and calculating the sum, and after loop and out of the loop, when you come out of the loop, then it will calculate the average of the sum we calculated during the repetition. Okay, so then what, how does it show the need of the list? So if I say it doesn't show the need of the list, but yes, one thing I want to tell you, that 10 float numbers which you are entering through this code or script, after getting all these 10 float values and summed up, if I say print all those values which you have entered through this code later, means out of the loop, when you are printing the value of sum and average, and after average, if I say print all those values which you have entered through this script. So this, the output of this or the answer of this is no, not possible, because there is a variable, single variable num, and it is getting the value from the user, and after summing up, and next time num gets a new number, so it keeps on taking new number every time, and it will keep on adding that number to some variable. So if you see in the end of the loop, the variable num will hold the last value entered. So if I say print all these numbers which you have entered after printing the average, it is not possible, because at a time num can hold only one value. So this way we cannot say that the numbers or the float values which we have entered can be printed after the entire process, or after printing the average, or after printing the sum. So in that case, we need a system which can hold the numbers as long as the program is in the memory. Means if I am going to enter 10 integers or 10 float numbers, after using those float or integers, I'll be able to reuse them. So this, through this program, it is not possible. In that case, I need a system, I need a class which can create, which can work like the object, which can occupy some space in the memory for all those values which I'm going to enter or which you have entered. So in this case, I think there is a need of the system here, and that is why I'm going to use list, because list is able to store the values in different locations or in contiguous memory cells or in different indices. So let's move further. So in this program, each of the entered number is required only once. A number is no more needed after it has been added to the sum. Therefore, this program does not need any list. So as I asked, will you be able to print all those numbers which we have entered through this loop? So here the answer is no. Okay. So now here the second example of this will show you. Now consider the following example. Over here I have initialized a variable as a list. So this is the empty list, num is equal to square bracket. So this is the notation of declaring a list. And again sum is 0, sum is initialized to 0, and here for I in range 10, and every time I am getting the number and calculating the sum, and every number which I am getting through the user, from the user, I am appending this number to a list. Num plus equals to, in the square bracket, the variable. So it is managing the list. So in this loop, during this loop, the number will be entered and sum will be calculated, and every element will be stored in num list one by one. And after the repetition, after loop, average is equal to sum upon 10, means whatever sum is calculated from us during this loop will be divided by 10, so it will get the average. Now here print sum plus sum is equal to sum, it will print the sum and it will print average also. Now here number greater than the average are, means I entered 10 numbers and I have calculated the sum and average also. Now numbers greater than the average are, so means after sum I want to print all those numbers which are greater than the average of all these numbers. So here what I am going here, I'll be using the list. How? For I in num. So what is num? Num is the list. So I am using the value of the list one by one. So if whichever value in num list is greater than average, whichever average is, it will print all those values. Correct? Next, here num is a variable declared to maintain a list, and each iteration whichever value is inserted is involved in calculating the sum, but also being stored in the list num. The variable num is declared as num is equal to square bracket. So this list will hold all those values which are greater than equals to the average, which are greater than num. So whichever value is greater than the average of all those numbers will be printed here. So this is how we can say this is the need of the list. Now I am going to show you some functions involved in manipulating the list. So these methods are append. Append function, if you want to add any element to the list, so it will add the element or insert the element to the list in the bottom. So inserts element x as the last element of the list. So if I say list dot append x, so x will be inserted in the bottom of the list. So this is the way. Color dot append say red. So whatever colors the color list is having will have a new color or new data that is red. Okay, so new element is added to the list. Next function, extend list dot extend list. So because list dot extend is a function which can add the values to the existing list, but it should be the list, means iterable. So if I am mentioning the list 1 here, means list 1 is a list, again a list which will be added to this list or the existing list. So over here I cannot mention the integer or the single value. If you mention single value here, it should be in the form of the list. So it says insert all elements to the list 1 at the end of the list, means this list 1 is added to the existing list, so this list will be expanded. So color dot extend, it means I have mentioned one list, cyan and red. So in my old list, this list means these two elements will become the part of the existing list. Insert. So this function inserts an element on the set index. List insert I comma x, means I want to insert x on this index. So inserts element x at the index I in the list. So if I say color dot insert 3 comma gray, so on third index the word or the color gray will be inserted. Similarly, remove list dot remove x. So here the first occurrence of the element which we want to remove, it is removed from, or the first occurrence of the element which you mention along with the remove function will be deleted from the list. So if I say color dot remove pink, it means the first occurrence of pink color is removed from color list. Pop. This function list dot pop removes the last element from the list and returns the element, means whichever list is, and if you apply the function pop, so it will delete the last element and returns the last value. So if I say color dot pop, means last element of the list, this function will return. Then list dot pop and the index removes the element at index I from the list and returns this element. Suppose I say list dot pop 2, color dot pop 2, means the element on index number 2 will be deleted from the list and will be returned as the output. Hope this is clear. So these are the functions I'll be using with the list class. The next, so see here, clear. So if elements are there in the list and if you want to clear them, then this function clear will remove all the elements from the list, and the list is list. So color dot clear, so all the elements of list are deleted from the or clear are deleted from the list. Okay. Index list dot index x. So if you want to know the index of the particular element, so it will show you returns the index of the element x in the list. So list is list and from the list. So if I want to know the index of red, so color dot index red, this way I can get the index of red from the list. From the list, list. List dot index x comma start returns the index of the element x in the list, but starts the search from the index start, whichever index we give, it will start search from that index. So if I say color dot index red comma 2, so it will start searching red from index number 2. If I apply this list dot index, I want to search this, want to know the index of x, and start to end means is from this position to this position minus 1, I want to search this element. So returns the index of element x in the list, but search is performed in the range of start index to index n minus 1. So if I apply color dot index red 2 comma 5, means the search will be performed from index number 2 and will be searched or checked till the index 4, means 5 minus 1. And the next function is count list dot count x, so it will return the occurrences or how many number of times the element exists in the list. So it gives the times elements x appears in the list. Suppose if I apply color dot count red, so it will return how many times the word or the color red appears in the list. Okay. Sort, this will sort the list dot sort sorts the elements to the list in ascending order. So if you have the list and if you apply the function sort, so all the elements of that list will be arranged in ascending order by default. Okay. And if you want to arrange those elements in descending order, then inside the parenthesis you can apply reverse is equal to true. So in that case the elements will be arranged in reverse order. Reverse list dot reverse reverses the order of the statements in the list. So color is a list, color dot reverse, so it will produce the list in reverse order. Copy, if you want to copy the element of the list, then you can make a copy of this. So returns a copy of the list. So over here list is repeated here, it means the name of the list is list. So if I say color dot copy, it will copy the list. Okay. So next is, so there is a script which will show the usage of these functions through this program. So see here, this is the program. There are 5 colors in the list. When you print the color, it will print the colors, means the complete list: red, black, blue, orange, pink. When you say color append cyan, so one color is added to bottom of the list. When you say print color, so it will print red, black, blue, orange, pink, and cyan. When you say color dot insert 4 comma blue, means on 0 1 2 3, so here on pink position the blue will be inserted. Print color, so the entire list will be printed here. Now print color dot remove blue, so here you will have some lacuna kind of, or the abnormal kind of output. So this print color dot remove blue will print none. Why? Because this remove function will remove the occurrence of blue from the list, but it will not return the list. So when it does not return the list, then it will print none only. Okay. When you say print color pop2 means 0 1 2 from this list. If I'm using this list, and if I apply this list for this function color dot pop2, so 0 1 2, so it will return blue. Print color blue. Color pop means the last value is returned. Print color, so it will print the last value. And color dot clear will print empty list, means there'll be no value in color. So let's move to the program here. So we'll move to Colab. See here, this is the program, the same program. So here you must have noticed that the functions in the program is executed, but the output is none. This behavior is because the remove function method in Python modifies the list in place, means on the place when I want to, or when you want to remove the element, and does not return a new list or removed element. Therefore print function prints none. So as I told you in my description, then if you apply print list dot remove the element, this will remove the element from the list, but it will not return the list, and that is why it will print none here. But this, on execution of this program, so if you run this program, if you write this program in Colab, this sort of output you'll see in your Colab or in your IDLE. So hope you understood the concept of why should we use list, and what are those functions which we have discussed in this video, and the append function and extend function. So there is a difference between append function and the extend function, where to use insert, and why what is the difference between remove and pop. So pop, it removes the value from end of the list and returns that element only, and if you apply pop with position, it removes the value from that position and returns the value that from that position, that value which is removed is returned. So this is how we can say what is the need and what are the methods we have discussed, and the example I showed, and when the none output is returned I also discussed here. So that's all for the day. We'll discuss more in the list in my next video. Till then, bye bye.